The high-pitched whine of an Italian engine died down as the sleek metallic red Ducati pulled onto the dusty shoulder of Interstate 85, just outside of Atlanta. Standing tall beside the high-performance machine was 48-year-old Angla Vance, wearing a tailored riding jacket with her helmet held beneath her arm. Her eyes were calm, carrying the quiet steel of a woman who had spent decades navigating high-stakes environments where panic was never an option. Within 90 seconds, a local patrol cruiser swerved violently onto the gravel behind her, its tires kicking up a cloud of red dust. Officer Ryan Cole stepped out first, his hand resting heavy on his holster, his expression fixed in immediate, aggressive suspicion. He didn't ask for her license. He didn't ask if she was experiencing mechanical trouble. He saw a black woman riding a $60,000 racing motorcycle on a quiet stretch of highway, and in his mind, the conclusion was already drawn. "Hands behind your back," Cole barked, his voice echoing over the rush of distant highway traffic. Angela didn't flinch. She didn't raise her voice or make a sudden movement. She slowly turned around, placing her wrists together, and spoke with a quiet, deliberate authority that should have made any trained officer pause. "Officer, my registration, license, and state credentials are in the side pouch. They match the vehicle perfectly." Cole ignored her completely, snapping the cold steel handcuffs around her wrists. "Tell it to the impound lot," he sneered, pulling her roughly toward the bumper of his cruiser. A small crowd of drivers pulled onto the shoulder, their smartphones rising like silent witnesses. Cole didn't care. He was convinced he had caught a thief, but as he turned back toward the Ducati to search it, his eyes caught a tiny flashing green light beneath the digital dash display. Beneath the handlebar console sat a small custom-built encrypted dash camera system. On its tiny digital screen was a small cloud icon and a progress bar reading 84% uploaded. The system wasn't recording to a local memory card. It was broadcasting a live encrypted audio and video feed directly to a secure cloud server, recording every single word, every movement, and every violation of procedure in real time. Cole's face hardened. Realizing the potential damage of a live feed, he unclipped the heavy metal police baton from his belt. He stepped toward the motorcycle, raising the baton, preparing to smash the camera housing to pieces before the transfer could finish. Angela met his eyes from the back of the patrol car, her gaze unwavering, her voice steady as ice. "If you destroy that equipment now, Officer Cole, the destruction of federal evidence becomes the permanent record." Cole froze for a fraction of a second, his baton hovering in midair. He glanced back at the screen. 91%, 95%, 100% uploaded. Transfer complete. Cole scoffed, trying to mask the sudden chill running down his spine. "You think a dash cam is going to save you from a felony vehicle theft charge?" He swung his baton down anyway, shattering the digital casing onto the gravel. But he was already too late. The data wasn't on the highway anymore. It was already sitting on a server 15 miles away, inside the central command center of the FBI Atlanta Feld Office. To understand Angla Vance is to understand the invisible barriers broken by black women who reach the highest corridors of American power. Growing up in a modest neighborhood in South Chicago, Angela's father was a decorated military veteran who taught her that excellence was the only true defense against prejudice. She worked her way through law school, serving 15 years as a federal prosecutor before transitioning into counterintelligence within the Federal Bureau of Investigation. She was the first black woman appointed as special agent in charge of the Atlanta Field Office, a position requiring absolute dedication, razor-sharp intellect, and the courage to manage hundreds of federal agents. The red Ducati was her one personal escape, a symbol of the freedom and independence she had spent a lifetime earning. But on that highway, Officer Cole didn't see a federal director, a legal scholar, or a public servant. He saw only a target for his own arrogance. While Cole was filling out a fraudulent arrest report on his hood, the encrypted feed received from Angela's motorcycle was already triggering an automatic high-priority alert at federal headquarters. 10 minutes after the camera housing was smashed, the quiet afternoon traffic came to a sudden, grinding halt. The distant sounds of roaring engines filled the air as three dark, unmarked tactical Suburbans tore down the highway shoulder, accompanied by 4 state police escorts with sirens blaring or deployed in seconds, establishing a perimeter. Officer Cole and his partner drew their weapons in confusion, panic finally breaking through Cole's arrogant demeanor. "Drop your weapons! This is a local jurisdiction stop!" Cole screamed. The lead Suburban door opened, and Deputy Special Agent Marcus Reed stepped out. He didn't look at Cole. He didn't look at the crowd. He walked directly to the back of the patrol car, pulled out his master key set, and opened the door. "Special Agent in charge, Vance," Reed said formally, stepping back as Angela stepped out onto the gravel. The cloud feed was received in full at 14:02 hours. Tactical units were deployed immediately. Cole's hand dropped, his face turned completely pale, his chest heaving as the words echoed in his ears. "Special Agent in charge." The roadside crowd watched in breathless silence as the entire power dynamic shifted in a single heartbeat. Angela stood tall on the shoulder of the highway, adjusting her jacket. She walked over to Officer Cole, who was now standing frozen, surrounded by 6 armed federal agents. His partner had already holstered his weapon and taken 3 steps back, completely washing his hands of Cole's actions. "Officer Cole," Angela said, her voice calm, measured, and terrifyingly clear. "You assumed I stole this motorcycle because you couldn't process the reality of a black woman owning it. You ignored my documentation, you ignored the procedure, and then you attempted to destroy federal property to cover your tracks." Cole stammered, his confidence completely gone. "Ma'am, Director Vance, I was following protocol for a suspicious vehicle." "Your protocol was prejudice, and every second of it was witnessed live by 34 federal prosecutors in real time." Marcus Reed stepped forward, placing Cole under federal arrest for civil rights violations under color of law and destruction of federal evidence. As the steel handcuffs clicked around Cole's wrists, the exact same sound he had forced upon Angela 30 minutes prior, Angela picked up her helmet from the grass. She looked at the young officer one last time, offering no anger, no satisfaction, only the profound weight of truth. "You thought you were stopping a suspect today. In reality, you were demonstrating to everyone watching why accountability is non-negotiable." Angela mounted her motorcycle as an agent finished securing the secondary ignition. As the federal convoy escorted her back down Interstate 85, the onlookers on the shoulder broke into quiet applause. Angela Vance rode away not as a victim of a broken system, but as an undeniable force of justice, proving once again that true authority is built on integrity, and dignity can never be cuffed.